You're recording.
All right. So happy Monday, everybody. We're getting a little bit of sunshine today. I hope everybody had a chance to go outside this past weekend. We're going to get some good movement in today. We're going to go back to a little bit of our mat chat and explore some ideas to think about through the week and get into our Kempo technique. So to start off, everybody go ahead and put your feet together, just like bending the knees. Let's make a fist with our right hand. Remember, if you're watching me, that's going to be mirrored, so that's going to be your other side. Remember, your patch side is your left side. Peace over the power. Good. Everybody, show respect. Step out to your left. Close your eyes, and let's take 3 breaths in. One for mind. One for body. One for spirit. And all right, let's get right into it. Let's get the blood flowing. We're going to do 30 seconds of jumping jacks. These can be as fast or as slow as you want, but I want everybody to get a full jack open, full jack closed. Here we go. Ready and go. You're breathing the whole time. You want to have some fun with it? Make some claps. You got your sides for claps, and you got your hands for claps. Good, we're halfway there. The lungs should start to feel the work now. Good, 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's everybody step on out to your horse stance. One more big deep breath in. And let those arms pull back to the side of the ribs. Everybody check your horse stances. Make sure your feet are just about past your shoulders. They're going straight forward. My knees are bending out towards my feet. My fists are up to my ribs. And my back and my head are straight up. We're going to start today with some punches, some strikes right from the horse stance, right from our front 2-knuckle punch. So everybody, I'm going to mirror you this time. So I'm going to punch with my left. You're going to punch with your right. We're going to go front 2-knuckle punches right into the solar plexus. I'm going to do this with you. Big key eyes with me. Good, 2 at a time. Use your sneak key eye into your tiger key eye. And good, come on back up. Shake that out. Now we're gonna get a little bit of strength in our legs. While we're working throughout the week, think of our 3 different zones. We can break it down. We can break it down even more into that. But our upper body, our arms, our midsection, our core, and our lower body, our legs. Even with that, we have different parts of the legs we can work. We have different parts of the middle section we can work. We have different parts of the arms, and we'll explore different ideas with that as we keep going. So for the legs today, we're going to work on our lunges. If you watch me from the side here, when I step with my lunge, we're going to make some right angles or 90-degree angles. And what those are, if you see any squares, when you look at the side of a mirror or the side of an L, those are your right angles. Those are the shapes that your legs should be, both of them. I'm not even touching this back leg. Back straight, and my hips and my shoulders are square. So we're going to do this for 30 seconds again. Once again, go as slow or as fast as you can. This isn't about speed. It's about proper alignment. Ready, and go. I'm going to go nice and slow slow today on this one, about a good medium tempo, because I want to save myself for the rest of this good tempo and workout that we're getting today. Making sure that I'm breathing through, I'm keeping my head up, I'm not using my arms to rest, and I'm not letting my back bend forward. Good, we're halfway there. And we've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Shake those out. Should feel a good little burn in the legs. That's your muscles working and getting stronger. Let's take that breath again to slow the heart rate down. Step those feet out. Let's pull those arms back again. Now, 2 ways we have of striking: straight lines and circles. If you look from the side, my front two knuckle punch draws a straight line. So let's change that into a circle now with our hammer strike. Remembering that when I hammer, I want to hit with this bottom part of the hand here, down where that muscle gets really tight. I don't want to hit with the top part. These are small bones. They're not very strong, and they're going to hurt me. So I'm going to protect myself, and I'm going to use the strong part of the weapon, even when I'm imagining in my mind of what I'm hitting. So let's take these hammers right to the bridge of the nose. Here we go. I'm going to start with my left. You're going to mirror me. You're going to do your right. On my ki. Good. Pull those arms back. Let's stay with that circle for a minute. Let's open up our hands. Let's make our palm strike. My palm, my sword hand, same shape. So palm strike, sword hand. I still want that hand to be flat. I want to pull my fingers together. My thumb's bent on the side, not in front of me. And what I'm doing is I'm making that whole hand nice and strong, that full weapon. But just like my hammer strike, I'm just going to use the bottom. I don't want to get into the top here. Not very strong. It's going to end up hurting me. I want to keep myself safe as well. So let's go back to the hammer strike. And we can think about these two strikes together, because if I had a light attached to this, it draws almost the same line as that hammer. We're aiming for the side of the neck. Ready, along with me. And you can play with your ki-eyes on this one. You go loud ki-eyes with your tiger. You can play with your snake ki-eyes and work more of a sh or a s. Or you can alternate. So let's get those big ki-eyes in. Ready? Good. Shake that out. So I had mistakenly said palm strike when I was talking about the sword hand before, but all we're going to do, the reason why that came out, is I'm taking that same weapon and I'm turning it. And I want to make sure, if you're seeing this from the side, I'm thinking about pulling those fingers as far back as I can so that that bottom part of the weapon, this is called the heel of the palm, is what I'm hitting with, just like the heel of the foot, the bottom part of the foot. So I can relate a lot of different parts of my kempo to each other. Hands and feet. My front two knuckle punch is very similar to my front ball kick. My heel palm is very similar to a front heel kick. See how I pull my toes back and let the heel kick? I can see the same thing as well with my back kick. So let's go back to those heel palms. These are gonna go straight out. We're gonna aim for our own chin in the mirror. Let's get those key eyes again. And then we're gonna work a different part of the body. We're gonna work our midsection, our core on the next exercise. On my key eye, and you want to switch it up, snake key eye. Good. If you notice, myself and Miss Carrie, when we're doing this, everybody say whole body engaged. Even though I'm just using, for the strikes, the top half of my body. I'm not just using the top half of my body. I'm also planting my legs into the ground because the ground is what gives me power and allows me to push off. I'm not just using one arm to go out. When I finish with one arm, the same time my alternate goes out, I'm pulling that other arm back and I'm thinking and elbowing behind me. And that helps my shoulders rotate as well. There's another version of torque. Good. Let's move on to the core. We're gonna get a little bit of core exercise. So here's what I want everybody to do. We're gonna start with some water pumps today. I'm gonna lay on my back. I'm gonna let my head rest on the ground for this one, so I'm not putting a lot of strain on my back. I'm gonna make the shape of the triangle. Now, we're gonna count this one out, and we're also gonna draw those numbers. So on my one, I'm gonna draw my one. My two, I'm gonna draw my two. Now that might look backwards to you. You're gonna draw the two the way you see it. Three, same idea. We're gonna go the whole way through our numbers, and notice if you see me from the side, I'm not cheating and bending my knees. That takes all the tension off my stomach muscles, my abs. That's what I want to try to work today. All right, so take those hands, put them underneath your hips. Here we go. We're just gonna draw to 10, ready? 1, draw 2, draw 3, 4, 5, halfway there, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Everybody come on up. Let's get back up to our feet. Deep breath in and out. Let's get 2. And one more with 3. Good. Let's come on back to that horse stance. I want to get one more strike with the upper body before we get into the lower body with our kicks. And I want to look again at that back two knuckle punch. These are all strikes we're going to build into our technique idea at the end of the day today. We're going to take a technique we already looked at last week. It's a yellow belt technique, but we're going to see how we can change that one technique, that little blueprint, that Lego outline, and we can make 5 other techniques with it and start to get creative with our martial arts and make it our own. So let's get into our horse stance again. Check your horse stance, back straight, knees bent, and back two knuckle punches. Remember, this goes out in a straight line. It doesn't circle up. That's our uppercut. Very similar in relation. One's a circle, one's a line. Let's get those key hands back. And good. Take a breath. Excellent. Let's move into our legs. For this one, we're going to get into our neutral bow stance. So, if you have a line at home and your carpet and your tile, and maybe wood on the floor, if not, that's okay. But if you do, You can use that as your little cheat sheet. See how I use the line to put my toes on one side, and my heel on the left, toes to the front foot, touching the line, and heels on the back, almost touching the line. These are always going to have their own lanes. So, I'm going to step off to the side so you both can see this. My guard's going to be up, my knees are bent. Now, my feet are straight forward. They aren't straight to the right. They're halfway in between both of those ideas. So my shoulders and my belly button, my belt line from where my belt should be up to this top corner. My guard, if you look at it from the side, it's not tucked in here to me. It's not way out here. I want my elbows up. But there's a little bit of space in between, and there's space in between my face here. They're out away from me, but they're hanging. They're not tense. They're not causing a lot of work. So I want to do 2 kicks with you today. 2 front kicks. One's an instep, one's a front ball kick, and we'll explain the difference of both of them and when I might use them in a second. So let's start with the front ball kick. We're going to use the back leg. We're going to get 10. So the knee's going to come up, the whole way out, back in, and back down. Big key eyes. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Once again, if you saw that from the side, and if I'm using Miss Carrie here as my target, I'm going up and I'm punching forward with that one. It's not rising in a circle, it's punching out just like a front 2 knuckle punch. So I would use that one if I want to hit forward to my target. If I'm further away, I'm going to use my instep, which we're going to work on now, by pointing my toes down. This one is going to move in a circle, and it's going to flap up, but I still want to drive it with the knee. I don't just want to swing my foot. So there's 2 swings. The knee swings up, and then the foot swings up. So this one catches up underneath before it changes. Let's work on that one now. So we're going to get back to our left neutral bows. Remember, we still got to bounce this out on the left side. So make sure you're breathing, make sure you key eye. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. All right. Let's get that left leg moving now. We're going to start with that front ball kick. Remember, this is the one. The foot pulls back, the toes pull back, and it punches forward. So I'm punching with this kick. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. Everybody, if you look at me, I'm sweating on this one. So all you need for a good workout, you got to push yourself a little bit and keep breathing. Don't let yourself give up. When your muscles get tired, that's actually strength building up in those muscles. But guess what? We still got 10 more. Let's give you a chance to catch your breath. Left foot now. Same foot. Instep kick now. So I'm pointing those toes down so I can swing up and underneath. How are we doing on time, sir?
You're good since I gave it
25 into it. Awesome. We're going to take a quick break after this, do a brief back chat, and get into some technique. So, flamingo comes up, kick, back down. Ready? 10. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Arms today. So real quick arm workout. We're going to do 15 push-ups. We're going to do 5 regular. We're going to do 5 triceps. And then we'll mix it up. Maybe we'll do triangle. Now, Remember, go at your own difficulty level. Just like our planks that we talked about last week, I want a straight line from my back the whole way to my knees. So here's what my whale tail looks like. I can go from here, knees are bent. See, I'm drawing that straight line. I'm keeping that knee to head straight. I'm not ducking my head down. And I use my elbows a little bit. Come on, that's how much I'm sweating. Is it true or is it sweat? And try to mix it up. Ew. So, here's the lights on. If you watch, I'm not lowering my hips down. I'm not letting that line break at all. It's all arms down and up. That's a push-up. Only if you can do that, just from your arms, can you come up to here and drop. And hey, if you can just hold a plank the whole time, you're still working out. So here we go. Miss Carrie's going to do the whale tail. I'll do the full push-up. We're going to start with our 5 normal hands. See how my hands are under my shoulders? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gotta have fun. Gotta have fun while you're working out. Remember to laugh. Good. For the triceps, I'm doing the same idea, but I'm pointing my fingers towards my toes. I'm going to put a little bit of bend in my knees, but my hips up to my back are still a straight line. And I'm only lowering my arms. I'm not lowering my hips down. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Here's the black belt challenge push-up for you. These are going to be a little bit trickier. I'm going to take my mind, body, and spirit. I'm going to put it right straight out from my heart. Now, whale tail, or straight up, or just plank, if that's all you can do. If you just want to hold this for the 5 count, that's all right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Nice workout. All right. So real quick, yeah, we're gonna hop up. We're gonna move over for a second because we got a word that I want everybody to think about this week. It's a big word: perspective. So another way of thinking of that is point of view, and it's kind of, if you can imagine a lens like that might be in a glasses. It's a lens that I see the world, and I might see things differently with my mind. I might see them differently with my heart. And I might see them differently just by what I see. So, different ways of looking at this. Why is this important? Well, my ability to change how I see things can help me solve problems, and it can also help me to live a happier life. If you live in a desert and that's all you know, then you're probably going to think that the world is really hot, it's really dry, and there's very little life around you. But on the other hand, if you live in a rainforest, and that's all you know, you're going to think that life is very wet, it's very sticky, and there's life all around you. But if you have the ability to travel and see both places, you know that both exist. So, one way of putting that into practice is, for instance, who here is stuck inside a lot right now? Absolutely. I can say, oh no, I'm stuck inside. I can't do this, I can't do that. When really I have my imagination to work with. I have lots of books. I have the internet to use as tools. I can also get stuck in a mindset of, I don't have this. I don't have that. I wish I had that. Where if I take a moment and I observe gratitude and I say, you know what? Here's all the things I do have. I have a house. I have a great family. I have food, a bed to sleep in. And I have a lot of great things to be grateful for. That can lead me into a very positive mindset. And I'm going to leave you guys with a little perspective game that you can take and play with throughout the week at the end of class here. All right, let's get back into some movement here. So what did we look at with our strengths? We looked at hand strikes with our front two knuckle punches. We looked at hammer strikes. We looked at back two knuckle punches. We looked at chops. We looked at palm strikes. We also looked at front kicks, both our ball and our instep. Now let's take a technique that a lot of us are learning, that a lot of us know already. We reviewed it a little bit from last week and show how we can take one technique and we can turn that into 5 or 6 different techniques. So delayed sword. One, let's all face through here and map this out just as we learned. We've got our step back and our hammer. That could be a block, that could be a hammer strike. So one, from a grab, I could have my grab back and I could have my hammer. Or from a punch, I can turn that into a block. Very similar motions. So one, let's just work on stepping back and hammering, because I can translate that into a chop, I can translate that into a hook, a straight punch, and I can work my marriage of gravity. Remember, in marriage of gravity is settling my weight and blocking or striking at the same time. So let's get 5 on the right side, 5 on the left side. And 1. And for now, instead of going back to my chamber, I'm going to put my hand back and check, remembering that if I have my tiger going out and attacking or actively defending, I need my dragon to fill up the gap. And 2, reset, 3, reset, 4, reset, 5. Just to balance it out, we're going to switch now. So left is going to step back and block. Ready? 1, reset, 2, 4 hammer, 3, reset, 4, reset, 5. Good. Now let's put in the second part of the technique, our kick. We're going to use our instep kick. We're going to stay to the basic blueprint on this one before we mix it up. So from our step back, we're going to turn our head slightly. I'm bringing my weight on my back leg so I can lift that front leg up into my kick. So ready? 5 on the right, 5 on the left. And step hammer, kick, pop, land. Good. Reset. Step hammer, kick. 2. Good. Reset. Step hammer, kick. 3. Reset. Step hammer, boom. Kick. 4. Reset. And step hammer, kick, reset, 5. Very nice. Let's balance it out. We're balanced martial artists in this school. We can beat up the evil ninjas on the right side or the left side if we need to. So this time, right foot stepping back, left hammer, cat with that left leg, kick, and back down. And if you're lefty, you're saying, oh, thank you. Get to my side. And move. Kick, hammer. 1. Good. Make sure you're breathing using your key eyes. 2. Hammer, kick, back down. Reset. 3. Hammer, kick, back down. Reset. 4. Hammer, kick, back down. And last one. Hammer, kick, back down. Now, last strike, we get to use that marriage of gravity, that landing with our body weight again. We're going to use our hand sword. So as we hammer and we kick, then we're going to chop. Here we go. Ready? 1. Hammer. 2. Kick. 3. Chop. Good. 2. Hammer. Kick. Chop. Good. 3. Hammer. Kick. Chop. And 4. Hammer. Kick. Chop. Nice. Switch it up left side. And hammer. Kick. Chop. Reset. 2. Kick. Chop. Reset. Hammer. Kick. Chop. Reset. Hammer. Kick. Chop. Last one. Hammer. full technique on delayed soaring. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit of how we can mix that up. And you're going to take that on your own when you explore it on your own today, which I hope you're also, as well as going outside in your schoolwork. You're taking the time to work on concepts that you might be working on now for your particular belt, or take the lesson today and make it your own and play around with it. So let's take the first move, which is normally our hammer, and let's turn that instead into a front two knuckle punch. So this one, here's your option to play around with. We can go up and guard, or I can make my guard a check after I punch. So I'm going to step back and punch. Let's make the kick the same for now. Let's go with our instep. But let's change the last one to a hammer. So we're doing this one full closed fist, and the next one we'll explore, we'll do full open hand. So we're going to take the same moves. We'll break it down first. So from my neutral, I'm going to step back and punch. I'm going to cat, instep, kick, hammer strike. Good. Let's get 5 on each side. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Reset. 1, 2, 3. Good. 1, 2, 3. 2 more. 1, 2, 3. Last one. 1, 2, 3. Good. Left side now. Let's balance it out. I'm going to step back. My left is going to front two knuckle punch. I'm going for the chin on this one. I'm still going to instep. And I'm going to hammer it. All left side. All one-sided on this technique for this one. So here we go. Left step back. Punch. Kick. Hammer. Reset. Step back. Punch. Kick. Hammer. Reset. Step back. Punch. Kick. Hammer. Reset. Punch. Kick. Hammer. Last one. Punch. Kick. Hammer. Good. So, the idea in this one, I always like to think about our sources of power like a battery pack in my toolkit. So I've got battery-powered tools that I can plug into the chargers, and I can plug it into my cordless drill if I want to drill a hole, my screwdriver if I want to screw something together, my saw if I need to cut things, and so on and so forth. So I can take the same moves, any technique that I have, if I know alternating maces, I can explore the same idea with open hands. So I had a chop, a palm, and a chicken wrist on that one. Getting a little ahead of myself. Let's go back to the blueprint we have, and let's look at open hands this time. So we're going to step back with our palm strike on this one. We're going to switch up the kick though. Instead of my instep, I'm going to pull the toes back and I'm going to kick forward. And instead of the chop, we've been using the chop. So let's pull one of everybody's favorites out on this one, the chicken wrist. I know we didn't do this on the warm-ups, but I think you guys can pick this up pretty easy. Think of the same move as my back fist, but I'm pulling all of my fingers down towards the inside of my forearm, and I'm hitting with the bone at the end of my forearm. It's nice and tough. So instead of chopping, I'm going to hit with that bone. It could hit to the jaw, the temple, or the neck again. So once again, facing you, what that's going to look like is palm from ball kick, chicken wrist. Let's try that right side. So same movement, same step. It should all feel very easy because we're repeating the same motions over and over again. So I've got palm, kick, chicken wrist. Good, reset. Palm, kick, chicken wrist. That's 2, 3. Palm, kick, chicken wrist. There's 4. Palm, kick, chicken wrist. Good. Let's get the left side now. So stepping back, palm, From ball kick, chicken wrist. Reset. 2. Palm. Kick, chicken wrist. Reset. Palm. Kick, chicken wrist. Last one. Palm, kick, chicken wrist. Now, you could go on and on into infinity with that one. You could explore your collapses with knees and elbows. You could explore blade kicks. You could mix up the kicks, mix up the strikes, and just imagine a tap coming in, or have mom or dad or big brother just oogie in for you and get to create, being nice about it. Don't beat them up. But that's a way you can explore your Kempo and expand it. I want to do a little cool down and a little bit of review using our salutation to get really clean with it and use it as a breathing exercise, but also a stance exercise. There's a lot of important stuff in there. And I want to go back and I want to go through the story of salutation on this one. We got a couple minutes left to close this up, and I'll leave you with our perspective idea. So, salutation. Everybody start. First, we'll count this out and 13 moves. And remember, you can always find this on YouTube later. Stop it, pause it, rewind it if you need to go back through. But then we've got all the moves here. 1 is in front position, piece over power, left over right. 2, bow. 3, step out to meditation. Take your breath. 4, the sun rises. 5, I open my paper. I make my pen. If I'm on short 1, there's my short 1. Long 1, short 2, long 2, short 3, long 3, and nobody should probably be past there in this group. I'm going to go short 1 today. My right side, and I switch what my hands are doing. What did that look like? Over to my right side. Ignore my finger. That's what mine looks like. You don't have to make it do that. Go over, boom, and boom. Good. So let's review that real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sign both sides. 6, draw that weapon back. My knuckles are facing up and down. This is my pointer finger. This is my pinky. I cover up those knuckles. I step with the right foot out into twist stance. My foot's facing this way. My back heels up. Left foot. Left foot. Almost like I'm going to dive. I'm going to swim. I pull those arms back to my chambers. Left steps out. Mind, body, spirit, so I can see up through it. Peace over power, just under the chin. Prayer in front of the heart with a slight bend. Shape of the heart. And then back out. That's our opening, our formal. One time through with a story. We stand on the field of battle. And bow. We take a moment to meditate. The sun rises. The warrior and the scholar sign the agreement to come together and defend our country, standing strong in mind, body, and spirit, hiding a treasure, if necessary, asking for forgiveness. We need to shape the heart, and we come back out. Good. Final thoughts for today. So a little perspective exercise to get your brain thinking differently today and this week is go to different rooms in your home. Ask permission if you need to. Sit down or stand somewhere. And 1, go through and just cover your eyes and stay there and exist there with no sight for maybe a minute. See what you can hear. See what you can smell. And then do the same thing with your ears. Cover up your ears and see what the world's like with no sound. Might have some interesting results. Good. Everybody come on back up. Nice, strong front positions. So good to see everybody today. Happy Monday. Stay healthy, stay happy. We'll see you all again same time tomorrow. So, show respect. Step out. 3 breaths in, 1 for mind. 2 for body. 3 for spirit. Close. Salute. Happy Monday.